Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about a common problem that can cause your check engine light to come on. Fault code P0457. This code indicates that there's a leak in your evaporative emission system, which is responsible for preventing fuel vapors from escaping into the atmosphere. One of the most common causes of this code is a loose or missing fuel cap. So, the first thing you should do is check your fuel cap and make sure it's tight. If that doesn't fix the problem, then there could be a leak in one of the hoses or other components of the evaporative emission system. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to diagnose and fix a P0457 code. We'll also talk about some of the symptoms that you might experience if your evaporative emission system is leaking. So, if you're having problems with your check engine light, be sure to check out this video. The P0457 fault code indicates a leak in the evaporative emission (EVAP) system. This system is responsible for preventing fuel vapors from escaping into the atmosphere. When the EVAP system detects a leak, it triggers the P0457 code. The EVAP system is a critical component of modern vehicles. It helps to reduce harmful emissions and improve fuel economy. The system captures fuel vapors from the fuel tank and stores them in a charcoal canister. When the engine is running, these vapors are purged from the canister and burned in the engine. Loose or missing fuel cap, damaged EVAP hoses or lines, faulty EVAP canister purge valve, faulty EVAP canister vent valve, damaged charcoal canister. Diagnosing the P0457 fault code can be challenging, as there are several potential causes. However, there are a few steps you can take to narrow down the problem. Check the fuel cap. Make sure it is properly tightened and not damaged. Inspect the EVAP hoses and lines. Look for any cracks, tears, or loose connections. Test the EVAP canister purge valve and vent valve. These valves can be tested using a scan tool. Inspect the charcoal canister. Check for any damage or leaks. The repair for the P0457 fault code will depend on the underlying cause. If the problem is a loose fuel cap, simply tighten it. If the problem is a damaged hose or line, it will need to be replaced. If the problem is a faulty valve, it will need to be replaced. If the problem is a damaged charcoal canister, it will need to be replaced. If you are not comfortable diagnosing and repairing the P0457 fault code yourself, you should take your vehicle to a qualified mechanic. Once the problem has been repaired, it is important to clear the P0457 fault code from the vehicle's computer. This can be done using a scan tool. By following these tips, you can diagnose and repair the P0457 fault code and keep your vehicle running smoothly. The P0457 code can be caused by a number of issues, including a loose or damaged fuel cap. This is the most common cause of the P0457 code. The fuel cap creates a seal on the fuel tank, preventing fuel vapors from escaping. If the fuel cap is loose or damaged, it can allow fuel vapors to leak out, triggering the P0457 code. A leak in the evaporative emission system. The evaporative emission system is a network of hoses and valves that captures fuel vapors from the fuel tank and routes them to the engine to be burned. A leak in this system can allow fuel vapors to escape, triggering the P0457 code. A faulty purge valve. The purge valve is a component of the evaporative emission system that opens and closes to allow fuel vapors to flow into the engine. A faulty purge valve can prevent fuel vapors from entering the engine, triggering the P0457 code. A faulty fuel tank pressure sensor. The fuel tank pressure sensor monitors the pressure in the fuel tank. A faulty sensor can send an incorrect signal to the engine control unit, ECU, triggering the P0457 code. The most common symptom of the P0457 code is a check engine light. Other symptoms may include strong fuel odor. This is a sign that fuel vapors are escaping from the evaporative emission system. Poor fuel economy. Fuel vapors that escape from the evaporative emission system can reduce fuel economy. Rough idle. A leak in the evaporative emission system can cause the engine to run rough at idle. To diagnose the P0457 code, a mechanic will typically use a scan tool to retrieve the code from the ECU. They will then visually inspect the fuel cap and the evaporative emission system for any leaks or damage. They may also use a smoke machine to test the evaporative emission system for leaks. The repair for the P0457 code will depend on the underlying cause. If the fuel cap is loose or damaged, it will need to be replaced. If there is a leak in the evaporative emission system, the leak will need to be repaired. If the purge valve or fuel tank pressure sensor is faulty, it will need to be replaced. If you are experiencing the symptoms of the P0457 code, it is important to have the code diagnosed and repaired as soon as possible. A leak in the evaporative emission system can allow fuel vapors to escape into the atmosphere, which can contribute to air pollution. You can help prevent the P0457 code by making sure that the fuel cap is always tightened securely and by regularly inspecting the evaporative emission system for any leaks or damage.